to be making up some rissoles today. Now it's nice, quick and simple and very cheap as well. Now I'm actually going to make more than one video, so you might want to check out the other videos, and I'm just going to do some slight variations on what meat and what spices we use. But the thing about rissoles is if you've got meat left over from your sort of Christmas turkey or your chicken or whatever you've cooked up, you can make rissoles with the leftovers. Now I haven't actually got any leftovers, so I've chosen to use, on this particular video, beef mince. But you could use lamb mince or, you know, chicken, turkey, whatever you like. So I'm going to be using beef mince, and we're going to add some cinnamon as the spice. Now to make up these rissoles, I'm just going to quickly go through the ingredients. First of all, got me breadcrumbs, got 40 grams of breadcrumbs, 1 small egg, 250 grams of beef mince, half an onion. I've actually blended that. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze out the juice, so we just got the onion itself. 1 clove of garlic, and that's been crushed. Good handful of parsley, so just mix that in. And then I've got my spice. I'm going to be using cinnamon, but I'm only going to use about 1/4 teaspoon of cinnamon, a little bit of salt and pepper. So now let's put it all together, mix it up, fry it up, be delicious. So first of all, I'm going to add a little bit of black pepper and a good pinch of salt. And I've got my breadcrumbs. Put the whole egg in. I've got my freshly chopped parsley. Got my clove of garlic, which obviously I've crushed nice and fine. Now I've got my onion. Now I've actually put that through a blender, so it's really fine. Now what I want to do is actually get rid of the juice. So let's just sort of put that in my hand, and I'm going to give that a squeeze. Otherwise you can end up with so much runny juice in there, so give it a squeeze and get all that out. That'll do. There you go. So nice and finely chopped, well it's blended, onion in there. Now look at all that juice that come out. So we don't want that, otherwise there's just too much liquid in there. Now the other thing I'm going to add is some ground cinnamon. I would say you want about 1/4 teaspoon. Enough that you can taste it, but you don't want it too overpowering. I think that'll do. Now I'm just going to use my hands to kind of mix this, squash it all around until you get it all nicely blended. So I've got it all mixed. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to make those into little balls, put them in a bit of flour, seasoned flour, and fry them up. Now I'm just going to move that across, and I'm going to get a plate. And I'm just going to make these into little balls. Now it's up to you how big you make them, but roughly I'd say about the same size as a meatball really. Look at that. Simple as that. Alright, I just finished the last one. It's a little bit smaller than that one, but there you go. In total we got 8. So I've come over to the hob. Now first of all I'm just going to put a little bit of olive oil, but if you haven't got olive oil, use whatever you got. What I'd say is just use enough that it covers the bottom of the pan. That'll do. Now I've got my flour. I'm going to use whole grain flour, but you can use any flour you've got. Put a little bit of pepper in there, freshly ground pepper, and some salt. A little bit more. Now what I'm going to do is turn the heat on, get the oil so it's fairly hot, and we're just going to dip these in the flour, put them straight into the oil and cook them up. So let's switch the gas on. Now the pan's just about heated up, so let's just mix that around, roll it around, and then I can just pop those in there. Do another one. Oh, it smells really nice now. Look at that. Just about the last one. Beautiful. Move those out of the way. Now really for cooking wise, depends how big you've made them, but you want to cook the meat all the way through. Turn them over occasionally so you get a really nice colour. Now it's difficult to say how long you cook them for, it depends how big you made them. I would say between 5 and 10 minutes at the most. Look at that, they're getting a beautiful colour. If you find it's getting too hot, turn the heat down, because it, you know, allows it to cook through a little bit in the middle. So just keep turning them around, build the colour up, and they'll be beautiful. Now again, just give them a flick over, just to make sure they're getting nicely cooked all the way through. This kitchen is smelling absolutely beautiful at the moment. Oh. Now I reckon these are done. I've been cooking for about just 5 or 6 minutes because they're not particularly big. So let's turn the heat off and go and serve them up. Right, let's go and serve them up. Be careful with them because they're really kind of soft and smelling good. So that is delicious. Look at that. Let's just try one of those. Now what you want to do is make sure that they're cooked in the middle, because when you're cooking things like mince, you know, you want to make sure it's cooked. Obviously if you're using sort of leftovers from yesterday, you know the meat's cooked. But let's grab one of those and try it, cut it in half. Look, I'll just bring that a little bit closer so you kind of see. Oh, get it in focus. That looks nicely cooked, and I'm going to taste it. It's going to be beautiful. Really nice. If you like meatballs, you'll love these. And that little hint of cinnamon just gives it a little bit of flavour. That is beautiful. Now just before I go, don't forget I've got another few videos with different variations of the rissoles, so go and check them out and come back soon. Thanks for watching The Original Naked Chef.